persons you're allowed to speak to attorneys for the state or the defense. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you may step down.
Thank you.
Well, would you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You're going to have to say yes or no.
Okay. Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. State.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your first name's Imunique Dixon Battle, is that correct?
Yes.
And are you the daughter of Vernon King Dixon?
I am.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
I'm looking at him.
And can you just please point at him and identify an article of clothing he's wearing?
Daddy, put your hand up.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that she has identified the defendant in the case. And ma'am, I'm going to go back and just jump right in. March 31st, 2022. Were you at your apartment?
Yes, I was.
And look on that screen to your right, ma'am. It'll pop up here shortly. Are you familiar with State Exhibit number 8?
I am.
And is this the location of your apartment complex? In your apartment?
Yes.
And your aunt, Jackie Dixon, is just her apartment right here.
Correct.
And then also in this back parking lot, is that a pavilion there that sometimes y'all hang out on or in?
Yeah.
And on March 31st, 2022, did you walk out to that pavilion at times?
I did.
And was your dad, Vernon Dixon, was he there also?
He was.
And was he, what vehicle was he driving, or did he drive there, if you recall?
Around that time, he had a red car.
Would it be that a four-door 300 Chrysler?
Yeah, it had 4 doors.
I'm going to show you what's marked State Exhibit number 4.
Yes.
Is that the vehicle?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. And was that vehicle parked out by that pavilion?
Yes, it was.
And do you know an individual, and I say your name incorrectly all the time, but Eva Lavana Lewis, or what you would consider?
I know what you're trying to say, yes.
Okay. And is that a person that the defendant in this case considers like a stepdaughter?
And that's his daughter.
And was she there that day?
She was.
And was her boyfriend, Avante Boyce, there also?
He was.
And did they, if you know, did they arrive with the defendant?
As far as I know, I did not see them when they pulled up, but as far as I know.
But those individuals were there when you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just 1 second, I'm sorry. So the job can be easier for the court reporter. Just wait until he finishes the question, then answer, because otherwise it makes it more difficult for her to take down everything that everyone's saying.
Okay.
All right. State.
Thank you, Judge. And then, ma'am, was there other individuals also there that day?
Correct.
And was your well, rather, I think your husband, was he there that day?
Correct.
And what is his name?
Donald.
And does he also go by Ray sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay. And is the last name Neely? You just got to answer out loud.
Yes.
Thank you. So, I mean, other things transpired that day. Did you ever have an argument with what I'll call Evie? Do you call her Evie, or what do you call her?
Evian?
Evian. Okay. Did you ever have an argument with her?
I did.
And did you actually have a physical confrontation with her?
I did.
And your sister, Raymanisha, was she there also?
She was.
And was she part of that?
She actually, and I'll quote what she got in my face. Imunique, what are you doing? We just lost family members. Leave her alone. Get off of her. How can I get off of her when she has my hair?
Okay. So y'all were in a physical.
Me and Evian were.
Yeah. Okay. And did some individual try to separate y'all?
My dad did what he thought he was doing by bumping up on me, thinking that he was stopping me. I thought we were fighting when you did that to me. And Yavion and her dude, well, AB was yelling and arguing with her, telling her to chill out. So basically, he was addressing her, and my dad was addressing me. And the only way Reminisha comes in is because my dad is bumping me so I could get away from Yavion, so me and Yavion could stop. But I'm thinking me and him are engaging and we're about to fight. And Reminisha was like, okay, well, what was going on here? So that's how that goes.
That's how that goes. Okay, thank you. And you stated AB. Do you know that individual's true name?
Unfortunately, because of the situation, I have been familiar with his name.
So is that Avante Boyce?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll get to this part, but was that Avante Boyce the one that was shot that day?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when this physical altercation is going on with you and I call it Evie, sorry.
Okay.
When that is going on, these individuals are trying to separate you and her, and Reminisha is also trying to help to a degree. Are y'all ever separated?
Yeah, like I explained to you, at one point I feel like, because I guess my dad didn't want me to hurt Yavion, is all I can get from, that's all I make from that. And he's boom, 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 bumping me, like trying to make me, so I'm literally thinking me and you about to fight, bro. Because I'm not understanding what was going on.
But at some point, you got the females involved in this are separated. Is that correct?
Yeah, but to be honest, Yavion and I, like in that red car you just showed me, it was a back door separating us the whole time. So it wasn't ever like we were on combat. I was on one side of the door, she was on the other side of the car.
Judge, I am sorry, but I didn't catch that. It's too fast.
All right, if you can slow down a little bit.
And that's right.
You know I'm.
But let's just begin. The fact is, where you just stated that you were on one side of the car door, Evie was on the other side.
Yavion.
Yeah. So, and she had a hold of you, and y'all were.
And I was swinging out her.
But there's separation by a car door at least.
Yes, for the most part.
And then Mr. Vernon Dixon tried to separate y'all, or trying to separate you.
I don't call that separate. I thought me and my daddy was about to engage in combat. So, but in his way, if that was the way, then okay.
Thanks for slowing down. That's all. So when finally y'all are not in a physical thing with each other, is that right? And where does Evian go?
I want to say in the backseat with the baby, but I was fueling, so I'm not just for sure, but I believe she went in the backseat with her baby.
And you stated something about a baby. Is that Avante, little Avante?
I believe so, yes. And that day, I never saw the baby, but I was told, Avante was like, my baby's in the car. So I was like, oh, okay.
So he was telling you my baby's there.
He's told me once, yeah, my baby's in the car. Like, he wasn't really, like, when me and Yavion were arguing, he was telling her basically, shut up, be quiet. Like, what a dude's going to tell his girl to quit the combat.
Okay. And then she gets in the backseat with baby.
No, she was. When are you asking me? Like after we separate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you recall that?
I mean, just my natural instinct would think she might have gotten in the backseat or something, but for sure, I don't really. Okay. I wasn't watching her.
Okay, but then at some point, your father, Vernon Dixon, did he get in that vehicle?
The last time I saw my dad that day, I was looking him in the eyes. He was about to go. He was telling people to get out of his car. He was trying to drive off. And I had said to my sister Reminisha, when she was about to argue with Yavion again, I said, no, forget that. Because I felt like my daddy was like, it was my daddy and Yavion against me and my sister. So I was like, cool, forget that. And I looked my daddy in the eyes and I said, let daddy, that's his family now. Let him roll with Yavion. That's his daughter. That's his kids. I don't fuck with him no more. We don't fuck with him more. And that was that.
Okay.
I thought.
Okay. And where was Vernon Dixon, your father, at that point? Was he in the vehicle or outside the vehicle?
He was in a car.
Was he in the passenger seat or the driver's seat?
It was the driver's side.
Okay. Who was in the passenger seat?
That day, it was only three people and a baby in the car.
Okay. And so who were the three people?
My dad, Avante, and Yavion, and the baby.
And obviously, a shooting happened that day.
Correct.
And did you see the shooting?
I did not see the shooting because at that moment, as I told you, once I said what I said to my dad, I looked in his eyes. I could tell, like, I probably heard his feelings, and I couldn't bear to keep staring him, how I'm trying to stay
I'm
down.
sorry, Judge.
Once I looked in my dad's eyes and I said what I said, I had just turned away from him. And I turned my back. I heard gunshots. I did not see who shot a gun.
When you,
Is that slow enough?
ma'am, just listen to.
All right, just a second. So I understand the emotions, but there's to be no conversation with the court reporter. Just listen to the question, ask it, speak at a normal pace. If you can speak the way I'm speaking right now, because believe it or not, she has to take down everything that everybody says. And when people are speaking extremely fast, that's asking a lot for somebody to do. State, ask your next question.
Thank you, Judge. Let me ask you this question. Did you ever see your father with a gun?
I'm trying to speak really slow. I did.
Oh, thank you very much for that. All right.
And do you recall what he did with that gun?
No.
Was that after the shooting?
Yeah, I didn't, prior to, I didn't know anyone had a gun.
But you saw him with the gun after the shooting?
Yes.
And your father that day, was he wearing a white warm-up suit?
To be honest, up until that day, I actually thought he had on a black jacket until you showed me the video. And I was like, oh, he has on. But up until that day, I actually thought he had on a black.
And you're speaking of the video of the pavilion,
yeah,
of the vehicle out there that was shown to you, is that right?
Yes.
And were you able to identify your father on that?
Yeah, so it would identify myself.
Okay. We're going to show you state exhibit number 9 and started at 154613. And do you see your father in this photo? I mean, this video? I'm sorry, but just
yes, I did.
And is that your father in the white warm-up suit?
That's my dad.
And this is the same individual you said you saw with the gun after the shooting? That's a question.
Oh, okay.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes. I'm not going to answer the same question over and over again. I told you that I did see my dad with a gun after the shooting. Okay, I did say that. Y'all heard me say that.
Thank you, ma'am. Is this you coming?
That is me, right? Yes, in the front.
And is that Remanisha?
Yes, that is.
And is this let's just say, the physical altercation that you were speaking about just previously?
I guess so. Yeah, we're all engaging. We're all moving around.
Okay. And do you recall, you know who Pearl is, right?
Yes.
And she was there also.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's a question. I'm sorry.
Oh, you see her car, yes.
Okay. And then you saw that individual that just ran out from...
That's Donald. Yep.
Is that Donald or Ray Ray?
Yep.
Okay. And is he standing right there in the middle of that video talking to you?
Yes, because I'm explaining to him that everything is cool and nothing went, like, it's not like we're fighting, everybody's fighting. It's all cool. And I was explaining to him it was between me and the Avion and my daddy. I felt like my daddy was tripping on me.
And at this point, nobody's been shot, no guns have been displayed. I'm going to stop this and go to the next video. And it's going to be starting at 15:49:53. You see the individual sort of crawling and then getting up and running off. Is that Avante Boyce?
Yes.
Is that after the shooting?
It has to be. I did not see Avante run off. The last time I seen Avante was under here, and once I heard the gunshots and we all splattered, and then I wound up going. I thought I was gonna go home and like be good, but once I reach to like my hallway area is where before I get there, I see blood, like drops of blood. And I'm like, oh, but I'm never thinking that because once I just came out of this door like maybe 20 minutes ago, there was no anything. So once I go home, I'm thinking I'm going back home. And before I could reach my door, that's where I found him. And I'm about to dial 911. And then that's when Yevion is like, she has a baby in the back. I'm trying to like help her with the baby and she swings. And I'm trying to help her with grab the baby, and she's like kind of me. I don't know if we're in me. I think maybe because she's still in a. I don't know, but I'm like, okay, at this point we're not fighting, and I'm like, okay, let me help you with the baby. And she's like, I'm like,
okay, okay, sorry, I just want to slow you down. I know that you talk a lot faster than I do too.
I talk fast like you guys Defendant.
All right. So that day you state that you go to your apartment of where you live.
I was about to, yeah.
You're about to, and that's where you see or find Avante Boyce.
And Yevion and the baby and somebody else, I don't know.
Okay, and somebody else was there?
A girl, I don't know.
Okay, and he's there. Did you see if he was bleeding or not bleeding?
For the most part, I saw like droplets of blood, and I'm just hearing the little girl and the baby are crying. Yevion and the baby are just screaming and crying. So it's one of those things that I'm about like.
Okay. I'm gonna listen to State Exhibit number 10.
Are you talking about me calling into my office?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have you listen to this voicemail and tell me if you can identify voices on it. Okay.
Okay.
And
that's my dad. Don't come on.
Okay. I have to ask questions. It has to be for the record. So you stated that's your dad. And are you referring to the voice on that voicemail?
In the crying, yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Adam LaHood. I'm a defense attorney. I just have a few questions for you, okay?
Would I be able to ask you a question?
No, ma'am. Unfortunately,
okay.
it's all one way.
Okay.
But if you don't understand a question of mine, please stop and let me know. You said that day you did not witness a shooting?
That's what I just told the state, yes.
Okay. But you heard a gunshot?
Yes. I heard one gunshot. Yes, I did. I have also been told that there were 2 or several other shots, but I heard one gunshot. That's it.
So personally, you heard one gunshot, but you did not see the shooter?
No.
how many people approximately were under the pavilion by the car during the scuffle that was going on?
Approximately, I don't know.
Okay. Just one more. If you can remember, ma'am, can you tell us who all was there that day, including yourself? We're talking obviously under the pavilion by the car.
If you show me like maybe like
just one moment. Yeah, just 1 second, man. Well, we're gonna put it up. We're gonna get that up in just a second for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? We can get it. Yeah, we're gonna spin up the video for you just a second now. You said that your dad bumped into you and you thought that you were about to fight.
I did not say he bumped into me. I said he was bumping up on me.
Okay. Was he trying to separate you during the fight, or do you know what?
To his knowledge, he might have been, but in my mind at that time, I felt like me, my dad, and the Evian were engaging in combat.
Okay. Were tensions high that day?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Are you nervous or upset being in court here this afternoon with us?
I'm in court, to be honest, because a child died. I have kids, and at the end of the day, as a mother, you have to do what you have to do for other mothers. That's why I'm here. Mad how?
Yes, ma'am. Just 1 second. We're going to get a photo up for you.
Not there.
Got a approach?
Yes.
Thank you. And we're looking at timestamp showing 15:47:14. It may be easier to look on the screen right there next to you, but whichever you're more comfortable with. With the highlighter, can you point out the start? You see a picnic table up near the front? And you see a gentleman, or it looks like a gentleman standing to the left of that table?
I'm gonna be real honest with you. The best I seen this video was in the state's office. What are you trying to ask me? Because I'm confused.
What we're trying to identify, ma'am, is if you can point out for us who is who. We have what I would say are some blurry images of people. We're just trying to figure out who these people are and where they are.
For the most part, this is a neighborhood where it's a whole bunch of random people. As I told you, I could identify the people who I know, which were the family members such as myself, my dad, my sister, Iavion. I could identify Avante, of course, and like you said, the Donald and the baby, and of course Juicy or my grandmother. But all that, I don't know.
Okay, some people in there that you're not sure who they are?
For sure.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, we'll pass the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Is this witness subject for recall?
Not by the state.
No, Your Honor.
The rule has been invoked. That means that you can't discuss your testimony with anyone. The only persons you're allowed to speak to are attorneys for the state or the defense. Do you understand? That's yes or no?
Yeah.
All right, you may step down.